The Garmin Xero C1 Pro Ballistic Chronograph, right now on Pirate Firearms and Reloading. Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Just before we get started, if you're liking the content, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you want more content like this, hit the subscribe button, toggle the notifications to all. It helps the channel out immensely and allows me to carry on making this content. It's free to do so, and it just makes a world of difference. Only about 3% of my viewers seem to be subscribed, so please hit that button, help me out. Right, I've been holding out on you guys. If you've clicked on this video, you already know what we're going to talk about, and that is the new Ballistic Chronograph from Garmin. This is sort of their entry into the market, although they do have a couple of other Xero products. So they have one for trap and skeet shooting, and they have another one for, it's like a bow sight, essentially. So they've kind of added to the lineup, and basically they've taken your lab radar, that Doppler radar system, and put it down into a tiny little form factor that's actually convenient to use. Lab radar's cool. That's fine, it has its problems, and it's huge. The magneto speeder, I've done that in a previous video. Fantastic chronograph, just sucks setting it up, that's all. Tell you the truth, this box is empty bar the instruction manual. What I've gone ahead and done is actually made a case for it, and I'm going to briefly touch on this because I know this is a big hot topic as to how to protect this device and carry it around with you. So what I have is a Seahorse case here, and I bought the version that is clear plastic, and it's hard to tell because I've done some work to it, and it came with the pick and pluck foam. Now, I've had a look throughout the internet, spent a lot of time on Sniper's Hide, one of my favorite places, and I found that this one fitted. And with the pick and pluck foam, you can do a very nice job and protect your device with no problems. Me and my OCD, I've gone one step further. I have a laser engraver, laser cutter. So what I did is I ripped out all the pick and pluck foam, and I have laser cut the foam. It just gives you that really nice, high quality finished look, and allows me to carry everything in here I need. I'm still working on the screen protector side of things, so if you're seeing the little bubbles in the corner, yep, I know. Actually, I just laser cut an old protector I had laying around. Unfortunately, the heat from the laser does ruin the adhesive around the edges, so it's not perfect. I'm getting some actually professionally done. So there is a few companies out there on the market that do custom make screen protectors. All I did is sent them a drawing with all the angles and the shapes and everything, and those are on their way to me as we speak. So you don't need to go this far. It's just satisfying my OCD. So this is the main device here. As you can see, it literally fits in the palm of your hand, and I don't have very big hands, so that for me was 95% of the selling point. It was small, it was convenient to use. There are some really cool mounts out there on the market. I had a whole lot of Arca stuff laying around, so I've chosen to make my own. And I've used the Sunway Photo SDC50 because this clamp not only clamps to Arca, but it clamps to Picatinny rail as well. So for the rifles I have out there that don't have Arca, this is the way to go. It still has the double-sided dovetail, so I can still mount it on a tripod like that, or very quickly unscrew it, put it away. Obviously with the chronograph, you get a very serviceable little tripod as well, and it does have a 1/4 screw in there. Now, the little Arca rail I have put on the bottom of this one, once again, Sunway Photo, is actually a non-rotational one. So it's got this little lip here on the front. Oh, let's get that in focus. Little lip there on the front to stop it from twisting around, so it remains relatively aligned. Now, I can't use that tripod like that anymore, but I can actually screw my Arca rail onto the tripod should I need to use this little guy. And having Arca on it means that I'm going to be able to put it on a full-size tripod as well and be able to stand and shoot other things like pistols, muzzleloaders, things like that don't even have rails on them in the first place. So I won't go into too much about the rail. Long story short, I can put it on an actual rifle and shoot it, which I think is quite convenient. So what everyone's interested in is the base unit, of course. So very, very simply, you have 4 buttons on the top. As with most Garmin devices that require buttons, they keep it really simple. You have like an accept OK button, you have a back button which doubles as your power button, and then you have an up and down arrow. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold down that back button, you get the nice screen for a few seconds, you get your battery indication at the top. So very simply, what you do is press your OK button, you go to a new session, you tell it what you're going to be measuring. You've got rifle, you've got pistol, bow, air rifle, and other. I've had a bit of fun with other, and I've measured some very interesting things. It does not measure earplugs flying out of a miniature signal cannon though. So slight disclaimer there. And I'm guessing that's because it doesn't travel the 20 meters that they recommend for this to actually pick up correctly. For this example, we are just going to go back up to rifle. We're going to select, so we're going to select rifle. It's then going to ask us for a broad muzzle velocity range. Now, generally speaking, we should know roughly where this is going to sit. So if you're doing centerfire rifles, obviously you're going to be above 1700 feet per second. If you're doing pistol rounds, rimfire, something like that, you're going to be lower. So you select which one you want. It's then going to ask you if you want to enter the projectile weight. Now, this is not critical. The only thing this gives you the advantage of doing is measuring the kinetic energy of the bullet. At the end of the day, you can add it later in the app, and I'll show you that a bit later on. But if you do choose to do yes, you'll do the first number, you'll press OK, you can go up and down, and you scroll along, and you can do the point. I doubt most people will use that. Then it gives you a little alignment guide, which is quite cool. If you're using this for the first time, this is very helpful. You can actually go into the menu and turn that off along with the muzzle weight. You can get it to not prompt, and you can do that later if you want. I quite like to enter it while I'm here. And also it's a good thing, you can leave it on the screen for a few minutes where you're getting everything set up, and then when you're ready to start recording, you press OK from here. And when we press OK, you enter the shot recording sequence. So you have your connected to phone little symbol here in the corner, you have your battery, and as you shoot, it increases the number of shots. You get the reading of the last shot, your min, your average, and your max. Now you can change those bottom data fields as well. You can have everything from standard deviation, extreme spread. There's a myriad of options you can select. You can also do energy. When you're done, you're going to press the OK button. You can view the shot list of all the shots you've taken, which you can also edit the shots right here on the device. And most importantly, you come down to end session. Now, when you end the session, that's when your phone comes in. I'm going to pop the phone up in the corner of the screen. So when you've ended a session, you get all your shots, all your different recorded sessions come up with these bars and some basic information on the front screen. You simply tap one, and then it goes in depth as to what's actually going on. You can rename these sessions as well, which I have done just for convenience and scrolling back. I'm going to go down to where I chronographed my muzzleloader. And this has been quite enlightening. It's very easy to chronograph a muzzleloader with this because you just set it up on the tripod next to you. You don't have to worry about clamping it to barrels, things like that. And it does allow you with these shots as well to select things like clean bore or cold bore. You can also toggle the slider and exclude a shot. So particularly here with this muzzle loader, I have chosen to exclude the fouling shot or the first shot because it is substantially different in terms of its muzzle velocity than the rest of the shots. And that's because the barrel is completely clean and there's no fouling to increase friction and increase pressure. So that's quite an enlightening little activity that I did. But right at the top here, you're getting all your information again, your extreme spread, your standard deviation, your min and max, and of course your average comes up here. Now I have not entered the projectile weight, so it is not giving me the average kinetic energy. If I was to enter the grain weight of the projectile, it would then populate that field. Now, even though I have 13 shots in the shot string, and in the top left here, it's still only showing 12. And that's because I have excluded that first fouling shot. So I have to say that the app is a fantastic companion to the chronograph, but it's not entirely necessary. You can also bring these out later when you get home and do this stuff at home. You don't have to have your phone out at the range if you don't want to. And I know a lot of people don't. If it's bad weather or whatever, you don't want to leave that out here. Now, we're going to stop the phone recording and put that off to the side. I do want to show you something here on the screen. I have corrected it back in the app, but the data is still here on the chronograph. So we're going to go back, and it's going to ask me if I want to cancel the session, which I do because I never actually shot. You've got to end session. Once you've started a session, you have to end the session. If we go down to history, I want to show you this string with supposedly 7 shots. Now, in truth, I only fired 5. And this is the little experiment I want to have. I've seen a whole lot of other guys on YouTube saying that it doesn't pick up everyone else's shots. I've managed to pick up somebody else's shots. And this is a special circumstance, I guess. To give you some context, I had this mounted on the arc rail on the bottom of my rifle. So about that far away from the rifle itself. And barrel to barrel, we were probably only about 600 mils or 2 feet apart. So we're pretty close together. And I've picked up the guy next to me. So if I scroll down to shot list, you'll quite clearly see that shot number 5 there is substantially faster than the other 2 you can see on screen. And that's because that's not my shot. That's the guy next to me. Now, if this does happen and you're shooting the same caliber, you're probably going to be very difficult. Fortunately, I was shooting a 308 with a heavy projectile. He was shooting a 222 with a very light projectile and a whole lot of powder. Hence the big swing between the two. Now, this is going to corrupt your data unless you delete these shots. So I'm going to scroll down to shot number 5, and I'm going to press the OK button, and it's going to give me the option to delete that shot. So I'm going to press delete. So now I've got 6 shots. Remember, I only fired 5. We're going to go down and we're going to find the other one, which is going to be there, 2958. That's very fast for a 178 grain projectile and a 308. So we're going to tap that one, and we're also going to delete that one. So now I actually have 5 shots. And if we press the back button and go back in, we're back to my shots, and all the other ones are deleted. Now, if you delete them on here before you synchronize it with your phone, it won't transfer them over. So I quite like to do it on the phone afterwards. It gives me a chance to review the data and really see what's going on. But you can do it on the chronograph here if you need to get a quick and easy result. I can go to session summary now, and this gives me all the data that I would possibly want. Min, average, max, extreme spread, standard deviation. It also gives me the date and time, which once again is quite convenient if you've got a whole lot of sessions recorded and you want to go back and find one. Once again, it also gives you that same information on the app. So great to have the two together. You can survive without it as well. So all in all, I am extremely happy with the Garmin Xero C1 Pro. This is my new favorite piece of gear. This has to be the piece of gear for 2024. I don't think anybody can come out with much else that's going to impress me this much. Not this year anyway. So if you haven't got one already and you're thinking about it, I absolutely 100% recommend them. They are fantastic. And I bought this with my own money. The second they came live on the Garmin New Zealand website, I hit buy now. I did have to wait. It did say that on the thing that I was waiting 5 to 8 weeks. So I waited in suspense for probably about 7 weeks, and it turned up, and I've been playing with it ever since, and I'm so happy. So get out there, get shooting, and get a decent chronograph. Happy shooting, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Catch you next time.